So in the last class, students, we are discussing question number 39. And basically in the question number 39, we are going to find out what now? The value of induced EMF. That's the main motto of that. So to find the induced EMF, we need to find the change in flux. Okay, in the case one, we took theta 1 equal to 0 and theta 1 equal to theta 2 equal to what now? 180 degree. Means as you rotated through what now? 180 degree. Okay, so we got phi 1 and phi 2. Then change in flux become what now? Phi 2 minus phi 1, right? So this is change in flux. So d phi become what now? Phi 2 minus phi 1. So if you multiply, if you do this one, so you get a minus 2 times of 21 in 10 power minus 4. It will become what now? 42 with negative sign into 10 power minus 4. It is Weber. Weber, that is a change in flux. So now we need to go for what now? Induced EMF. I'm going to take here. Here time is given how much? 0.1 second. So dt is given what now? 0.1 second. So I'm going to use induced EMF E equal to minus n into d phi by dt. So here negative n is how much is given? 200 number of turns. So it is 200 into d phi. We got negative, right? So it is minus 42 into 10 power minus 4 divided by dt is what now? 0.1. So I'm going to simplify this one now. Negative become positive. So it will be 8400 into 10 power minus 4. Denominator 0.1. We take 10 power minus 1. It will become what now? 8.4, right? Because this is going to cancel by 10 power minus 3. So minus 3 means 3 point shift. It will become 8.4 volts. So that's the option A. So option A is the right answer for this question. So induced EMF will be how much now? 8.4 volt. Okay. So that's the one thing. So is that clear? Okay. That is the last question where we didn't continue this question as soon as the class get over. Okay. So this is the continuation of this part. Okay, let us have a look at the next question now. Okay, if you look at the next question, a thin circular ring of area A is held perpendicular to uniform magnetic field of induction B. Okay, now a small cut is made in the ring and a galvanometer is connected across the ends such that the total resistance circuit is how much? R. The total resistance of the circuit is how much? It is R. Okay. Now when a ring is suddenly squeezed to zero area, initially like this it is there now. This is a coil. Okay. So there is a magnetic field. In what direction? In this direction. So this will be okay, having some area A. That's area of the coil A and magnetic field is applied B. Okay, having an entire resistance is how much R. Now, if you suddenly squeeze, what will happen? As you squeeze, the flux linked to the coil is going to change, decreases. Now, as the flux decreasing means it is changing, will give us what now? It will give us a current. Yes or no? So there is a current means there must be a charge. Now the charge flowing in a galvanometer we need to find out. Okay, now we got the clarity. So we need to find out what now charge flowing. Now as we got the relation previously, one relation we got charge is equal to change in flux divided by resistance. Do you know this formula? You remember this formula? We proved this equation also. Okay, I'm going to take this equation directly now as from the previous class. So now look at delta phi means what now? Change in flux. That is what now? Phi 2 minus phi 1 means final flux minus initial flux. Okay, final flux, how much is the initial flux is how much? Initially, so it is what now? Final minus it was initial. That is what we call phi 2 minus phi 1. Now tell me, initial flux, how much was there? So total area of the coil is A. So magnetic flux is B. So initial magnetic flux is BA and it is cos which angle 0 degree because area vector also same direction. So angle theta become 0 degree. So now what will happen? It will become just BA. Now the flux of final thing become what now? It is area suddenly squeezed into 0. So final flux is 0. Then delta phi become what now? Delta phi become 0 minus b times of a. It will become negative b times of a. Now I take just a magnitude, so it will become plus ba. So we got to know. And resistance, how much is there? R is there. So it will become what now? B times of A divided by R. So that is the value of charge induced. Okay, that we are going to see in a galvanometer that is flowing through the galvanometer. What is the answer? AB by R. Right option. Okay. So is that clear? Yes. So I am audible to all of you, right? And the PPT is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Next, look at this question now. A small bar magnet is being slowly inserted with a constant velocity inside a solenoid. Okay, this is a solenoid. Okay, this is a bar magnet. So we are going to slowly insert it. Which graph best represents the relationship between the EMF induced with the time? Now we need to find the relation between EMF and time. Okay, so this best relation we need to find out. So see here, as the bar magnet move inside, the flux linked to the coil is going to changing. As the flux linked with the coil is changing, what will happen? There is an induced EMF. So I can say now induced EMF is given by minus d phi by dt. So do you agree with this now? Minus d phi by dt means I can say here from this equation EMF is proportional to 1 by time taken. 1 by time taken. So now initially as you move, what will happen? So as time increases, EMF decreases. Means you are going to move slowly. You're going to move out slowly. Okay, so look at the question. So with a constant velocity inside the solenoid, okay, being slowly inserted with a constant velocity, so which graph represent the best scenario? So simple thing, as time EMF proportional to time. So we need to find the relation between these. They are inversely proportional to each other. Initially EMF is negative, right? Okay, as it move, what will happen? The induced EMF opposes, right? The induced EMF opposes. So there must be a negative EMF initially, and then EMF become positive. So now if you look at these four graphs, so initially EMF must be negative. Which graph is indicating EMF is negative? Look at initially EMF is increasing. So it is positive EMF. So we cancel out. Here also increasing. Positive EMF, cancel. So EMF must be what now? Negative, right? Initially. So here, okay, this is negative EMF with respect to time. So there's a possible. Here also now it is a decreasing, but still it is a positive EMF. So this is the right answer for the given question. So the graph is look like this now. The graph will go like this with respect to time. As the time keep on increasing, as we move first this bar magnet inside, EMF is going to induce here. That EMF is what now? Against the direction of magnetic flux linked with the coil. So now it must be negative. And when you're taking out, what will happen? Then now what will happen? So EMF become positive now. Okay, that's the reason here it is. The C graph is indicating a correct representation of this one. Okay, this is again what now? From Faraday experiment. Faraday experiment it is. Okay, let us look at the next question now. An infinitely long cylinder is kept parallel to an uniform magnetic field directed along the positive z axis. Now there is okay cylinder. Like this it is there. Okay, this is infinitely long it is. Okay, that's not shown. So this is the axis of this one coil. So we call axis. Okay, the uniform magnetic field is then directed along the positive z axis, same axis. Now the direction of induced current as seen from z axis will be how much? Tell me. As you are going to rotate this one, okay, this is the direction of magnetic field everywhere. Okay, as you rotate the coil about an axis like this, now tell me, the magnetic flux linked with the coil is going to change? No, right? So even B is not changing, area is not changing. So it will be confined to a same given area. So what will happen? There is no change in flux. There is no change in flux means there is no induced EMF and current. So which is the right answer? 0 is the right answer. Okay, there is no induced EMF or current. That's clear? Yes. Let's look at the next question now. Question number 43. So what the question number 43 says now? The thing is, so question number 43 saying that the armature of a DC motor has 20 watt resistance. It is not watt, it is 20 ohm. Okay, is 20 ohm. It draw a current of 1.5 ampere run by 220 volt DC supply. Then the value of back EMF is how much? So now back EMF concept will come where when? What is the meaning of back EMF? The EMF produced in the coil which opposes the change in current. That's what we call back EMF. Okay, so this back EMF given by what formula you know? Back EMF is given by the formula applied voltage minus voltage across the armature, or voltage or potential drop, or I can take potential difference across armature coil. Okay, so this is how we're going to find back EMF. Okay, so applied voltage, how much is there given? 220 voltage given. Minus potential difference across the armature coil. We need to find out. How we can find out? Current is given, resistance is given. So it is 1.5 times of 20. So it is 220 minus 1.5 times of 20 means what it is? So it will be 10, right? So it is actually what now? 3 by 2, right? It is 3 by 2 multiplied by 20. So it is 10, right? So it will become what now? It will become 220 minus 30. So it will be 190 volt. So that is the answer, 190 volt. So please make a note of this formula. So what is the formula? Back EMF equal to applied voltage minus potential difference across the armature coil. Okay, how did you get this one? See, simple thing. Whenever taken any coil like this, the energy stored in the inductor. Okay, let us connect a DC. So as we send here, what will happen? Okay, so what will happen here? Okay, if it is DC, it is not going to oppose anything because there is no, okay, like as you can take an XF, not XF, XL is equal to omega L, that is 2 pi FL. Frequency is not going to change. Frequency is 0 for DC. XL is 0 means inductor will allow DC. Now if I connect to AC to this, what will happen? As AC we connect, so it will go on changing what now? Magnetic flux. Change in magnetic flux will give us induced EMF in this, what we call self-inductance. Then EMF is going to develop, and this EMF is going to oppose a further developing current. That is what we call back EMF. Okay, that's how we're going to get that by this formula, applied voltage minus the potential difference, how much it is developed across this coil. Okay, that's the question number 43. Let us look at the question number 44. A small coil of radius R is placed at the center of a larger coil of radius R. So like I said, is there a large coil of radius how much? Let's say radius is R. A smaller coil of smaller radius, which is kept where now? Inside that, and they are coplanar, means they are in the same plane. They are in the same plane. The mutual induction between the coils is proportional to, they asking. They're asking what now? Mutual induction between the coil is proportional to. A simple thing we go for. What we know? A mutual inductance formula or flux linked to the coil is m times of current flowing through this, right? Then can we take now m equal to phi by I? Now they're asking now what now mutual inductance they're asking. Now I need to find out a magnetic field, how much is there, and how much area is there. Magnetic flux I need to find out. Flux is given by B times of V. Okay, now look at now. Whenever you're taking a mutual inductance or inductance, you're going to take always the area of a smaller coil. Okay, we're going to take always what now? Area of what now? Smaller coil we're going to take. So now if I use this one now, I need to find out what now? Area, how much is that? Magnetic field, how much is that? So magnetic field at the center is how much now? B, that is mu naught I by 2 times of R. From where did you get this formula? Again using Boyd-Savart's law, magnetic field at the center of the coil, which is carrying a current. Okay, then area of the coil is how much now? Area of a smaller coil, that is pi R square. So the magnetic flux become what now? Mu naught I pi R square by 2R. Now we got to know, we're going to insert these values. Then mutual inductance become what now? It is mu naught pi R square divided by 2R. Why I is not there here, sir? Because here one more I will come here. So it actually here I into 1 by I, this I and is going to cancel. Now they're asking proportional, means what now? So M is proportional to R square by R. So where is the option? R square by R, B option is right answer. Okay, so this is how mutual inductance we are going to find out in this case, particularly in this case. Okay, so this is clear to all of you now. Any doubt regarding this? No doubt? Yes. Let's move on now to next question. A coil having n turns and resistance R. So the given number of turns is how many? N turns are there, and resistance is how much? R. Is connected to a galvanometer of resistance 4R. Okay, this combination is moved in time t seconds from the magnetic field region W1 to W2, wherever the induced current in a circuit. So whenever you are going to find the induced current, okay, so we need to find first what now? Change in flux. Change in flux is what here now? So change in magnetic field multiplied by what now? Area of the coil, right? Correct or yes or no? Yes or no? We should have what now? Area of the coil, that we need to see now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So look at here now. But there is a problem is there. The problem is, okay, as we know, magnetic flux is given by B times of A. B means the given change in, but area is given to us now. Whether anywhere area is given to us, not at all given to us. Then what we can do this question then? What we can do this question then? The given magnetic field is going to change W1 Weber to W2 Weber. So the coil of N turns having resistance R connected to a galvanometer of resistance R. So we need to find out the total resistance become 4 times, means 5 times of R. This combination is moved through a distance of time t from the magnetic field B. Okay, give me 1 second of time. Yeah, listen here. So we now, as of now, look at the question, the coil is remains same, right? Same coil, right? We are moving from where to where? W1 Weber to W2 Weber. That's what they given. Here, look at now, Weber indicating what, students? So they given here magnetic field, be confused. But Weber is a unit of what? Weber is a unit of magnetic flux, right? Yes or no? Weber is a unit of what now? Weber is a unit of magnetic flux, means they given already initial magnetic flux is how much? Phi1 is W1 and second magnetic flux phi2 is what now? W2. So you're getting my point? So it is already given Weber, means Weber is a unit of magnetic flux, means they given already flux change. So then a change in flux d phi become W2 minus W1. And they given time is how much? T seconds. So I take delta T equal to T seconds. Now I'm going to find what now? Induced EMF is given minus d phi by dt. It is for 1 ton. How many tons are there here? N number of tons are there. I'll multiply n. So it will become minus n times of d phi by dt become what now? W2 minus W1 divided by time taken T. But they're asking what now? Induced current. So current I need to find out. Resistance, how much is there? Here R and here R, 4R. So connected with the galvanometer means it must be in series combination. The effective resistance become what now? R plus 4 times of R become what now? 5 times of R. So current I become E by R. E is how much now? Minus N times of W2 minus W1 divided by T divided by this R dash become what now? 5 times of R. If you simplify, you get what now? Minus N times of W2 minus W1 divided by 5 RT. Okay, look at the which option is correct. B option is correct. Okay, here one confusion we found. What now? We thought it is a magnetic field and we start finding an area. So where the area is not given. But when they're given here, they're given in what now unit? Weber. Weber means what now? It is already given in magnetic flux. Then no need of finding an area. Okay, so the thing is observation is very important here. Okay, is the question is clear to all of you now? Let's move on to next question now. Consider the situation, okay, shown to you now in the diagram. The wire AB is sliding on a fixed rails with a constant velocity that is shown here, AB. If the wire AB is replaced by a semi-circular wire, the magnitude of induced EMF will be. So if I replace this by what now? A semi-circular wire like this. And again, this is going to move in velocity v. Now they are asking that as compared to previous case, now, so the magnitude of induced EMF remains same, increases, decreases. That they are asking now. Now you tell me, the option is given to you now. So it will be remain same or different? It will be remain same. Why? Because the flux change per unit time, both case will be remains constant. So since it is constant, so EMF also must be what? EMF also constant quantity. So it's not going to change. So the option is what now? C. It is remains same, remain the same. So there is no change. Okay. So here because d phi by dt is constant, means flux change per unit time is remains constant. Okay, look at the next question now. In the figure, represent the area of what now? 0.5 meter square is situated in a uniform magnetic field as shown to you. And there is a magnetic field is given to you. And it is making an angle of 60 degree with what now? With respect to what now? The area of the coil is making an angle with respect to magnetic field B 60 degree. Now the value of magnetic flux we need to find out. Okay, so we need to find out what are magnetic flux. What is the formula for magnetic flux? Phi equal to BA cos theta, where B is how much? 2. into area of the coil is how much is given 0.5 means let us say 1 by 2 into. So cos theta, cos 60 degree. So it will become 1 into cos 60 degrees. What now? Cos 60 degrees 1 by 2, right? So it is root 3 by 2. Cos 60 degrees root 3 by 2. So answer is what now? Root 3 by 2 Weber. So B option is right answer. Sir, what if the given angle theta equal to 90 degree? So what will happen? Cos 90 degree is 0. So flex become what? 0. So there is no option like this here. So what if theta equal to 0 degree? So cos 0 degree is 1. The flex become what now? Flex become 1. That option also not there here. Okay, leave it, not an issue. But our answer is what now? Root 3 by 2, not B. C is the right option. Root 3 by 2 Weber. Okay, yes. Next question. Question number 48. The in a coil of area 10 centimeter square, 10 turns with a magnetic field directed perpendicular to the plane of the coil. So means angle is how much here now? 0 degree. Okay. And changing at a rate of 10 power 8 Gauss per second. So here the given magnetic flux field is changing. Okay, dB by dt, that is 10 power 8 Gauss per second. One more thing you should know here, 1 Gauss is equal to 10 power minus 4 Tesla. That conversion should be done. So it will become what now? 10 power plus 4 Tesla per second. That is how the magnetic field is going to change. I'm going to convert SI unit because Gauss is what type of unit? CGS, and Tesla is what type of unit? SI unit. That's the conversion factor. Now the resistance of the coil is given how much? 20 ohm. Now we need to find the current. To find the current, we should find what now? EMF. What is the formula for EMF? EMF equal to minus d phi by dt. So it is minus d by dt of phi means what now? NBA into cos theta is 0 degree. Cos 0 degree is 1. So it will become what now? Minus d by dt of NBA. Okay, now I'm going to take a magnitude now. So I'm going to take negative sign has become positive since I'm taking magnitude. So here N and B constant. Okay, N and A is constant. I'll try it like this. This equation as induced EMF in magnitude is equal to N A times of dP by dt. So N is how much is given? 10. Here is how much? 10 into 10 power minus 4 because centimeter square to meter square. dB by dt 10 power plus 4. So it will become what now? Now it will become 10 volt. Now I need to find current. So current equal to what now? EMF by resistance. EMF is how much we got? 10 volt. Resistance how much? 20. So it will be 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 means 0.5 ampere. So A option is the right answer. So A option is what now? Right answer. Okay. So next question. Let us go for next question. So this question is clear to all of you. So one more thing I'm going to tell you, simple thing. Like our job is like a coaching to you. Like what? Like a match like some example, the hockey team or like cricket team or anything. We are just a coach. We are going to guide you. You do like this, you do like this, you go for this method, you go for this method, you use this formula, you remember this concept. But actually, who is going to do? Who is need to do? You need to practice. Okay, you need to practice. Okay, if I'm like now cricket coach is there. So cricket coach is going to guide the people how to do what to do. If the players are not going to practice well, then how come we expect a good performance from the player? If you're not going to practice well, then performance won't be there. Like it is like become what now? It's like I'm telling keep on and you're just listening. And whether you're going to do workout, no. Why are you going to do work with me? So as I'm telling, you're going to do work with me. Survey will do. No. So if you keep on practicing, So then only your performance will increase. Until that, your performance will not increase at all. So if you want to get rank, you need to sit and you need to practice along with me now. Okay. So how much you practice, that's very important here now, along with me. Okay. So that's our suggestion to you. Please sit and practice very well also. Now look at the next question along with me. A flux linked with a coil at an instant of time t is given by, this is the given. The induced EMF they are asking, again using the formula E equal to minus d phi by dt. Pi is given to you, time is given to you, insert and find the solution. I am leaving this question to you. Same formula, it is based on what now? Faraday's second law. Okay, yes. Now look at this question now. A conducting square loop of side L and resistance R move in its plane with an uniform velocity v perpendicular to one of its side, that is shown in the diagram. As magnetic field B constant in a time and space, the pointing perpendicular, it is like what now, perpendicular into the plane of the board. So actually it should come like this. Say there is a cell mistake, is a printing mistake. Okay, we assume away from us. Okay, the loop existed. Okay, now the pointing perpendicular and into the plane at the loop exists everywhere with half of the loop outside the field shown in the figure. Now we need to find what now? Induced EMF we need to find out. So now flux is changing or not? So of course the flux is changing. So as flux is changing, there must be a what now? There must be induced EMF. It is like as like you're taken a motion of a conductor in magnetic field. It is a concept of what now? Motional EMF. Like this conductor as it moving, area changing. Look at now. This is keep on changing. So this is length remains constant. So again, you're going to get what now? D phi by dt equal to B means what now? D by dt of B times of A. It is what now? D by dt of B times of A means what now? Length into breadth. So that B and L is remains a constant. So it will be dx by dt. So it will be what now? BLB. That is the d phi by dt. So d phi by dt means V, right? So it will be what now? BLV. So it is VBF. D is the right answer. Okay. So the question is clear. Yes. Let us have a look. Next question now. Question number 52. This question is based on transformer. This question we have done in the last AC chapter. Transformer. It is based on what now? Transformer. It is a number ratio. Very simple thing. I'll do in not even 1 minute. Look at now. The primary to secondary coil number of turns are given. So it is NP primary and secondary NS. It is 5 by 4. Okay. If the 240 volt is applied to primary coil, so voltage in primary, how much it is? 240. Then they are asking the ratio of current in a primary to secondary. Current in primary to secondary, that is given by reciprocal of what now? Number turn ratio, right? Okay. It is NS by NP. So now tell me, NS by NP what now? 4 by 5. So it is 4:5. You know this, remember this formula? NP by NS equal to VP by VS equal to IS by IP. Okay, using this formula. Okay, yes.